didn't have sex with a porn star, number one.
You can see he is 6'5" and only 223 pounds.
He can't hit a ball 50 yards.
You have the morals of an alley cat.
We knock on wood wherever we may have wood.
You're the sucker. You're the loser.
He's become like a Palestinian, but they don't like him because he's a very bad Palestinian.
We finally beat Medicare.
Well, he's right. He did beat Medicare. He beat it to death.
Look, I'd be happy to have a driving contest with him.
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either. I want absolutely immaculate, clean water.
I got my handicap, which when I was vice president, down to a 6.
That's the biggest lie, that he's a 6 handicap of all. Well, I took 2 tests, cognitive tests. I aced them. Let's not act like children.
You are a child.
Look at that. Oh, are they doing that on purpose? Are they friend or foe? It felt good. I felt water on my face. I said, where the hell is that? They may be doing that on purpose. Let's find out if they're friend or foe. And if they're foe, let's take care of those son of a bitches.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, setting up this little view here, enjoying the view of, the little Como Bridge straight out of the Hudson Valley. And I came to some crazy ass news. Just you want to think the whole election hasn't gotten more insane. Let's go for a quick look.
My fellow Americans, I'm speaking to you tonight from behind the resolute desk in the Oval Office. In this sacred space, I'm surrounded by portraits of extraordinary American presidents. Thomas Jefferson wrote the immortal words that guide this nation. George Washington, who showed us presidents are not kings. Abraham Lincoln, who implored us to reject malice. Franklin Roosevelt, who inspired us to reject fear. I revere this office, but I love my country more. It's been the honor of my life to serve as your president. But in the defense of democracy, which is at stake, I think it's more important than any title. I draw strength and I find joy in working for the American people. But this sacred task of perfecting our union is not about me. It's about you, your families, your futures. It's about we, the people. We can never forget that. And I never have. I've made it clear that I believe America is at an inflection point. One of those rare moments in history when the decisions we make now determine our fate of our nation and the world for decades to come. America's going to have to choose between moving forward or backward, between hope and hate, between unity and division. We have to decide, do we still believe in honesty, decency, respect, freedom, justice, and democracy? In this moment, we can see those we disagree with not as enemies, but as fellow Americans. Can we do that? Does character in public life still matter? I believe I know the answer to these questions because I know you, the American people. And I know this, we are a great nation because we are good people.
Juicy! So yes, ladies and gentlemen, after a big debacle with the first debate that came on and a lot of heat coming by from Democratic donors, as well as fellow Democratic leaders, Mr. President here will not seek for re-election. He will plan to step down once his term is over due to the pressure of concerns and heat with its overall health and literally everything else that mainly comes forth.
Remember this, I've been indicted more than Alphonse Capone, Mr. President. Do you know who that is? Even the president just said, I do. Scarface, Al Capone. If he had dinner with you and he didn't like the smile in your face, he thought you were mocking him by smiling, you would be dead before you got home and said hello to your wife. And Alphonse Capone, I got indicted 4 times by this gang of thugs.
One does not have to abandon their faith or deeply held beliefs to agree the government should not be telling her what to do. You know, when he was president, Donald Trump, former president, handpicked 3 members of the United States Supreme Court because he intended for them to overturn Roe v. Wade. The United States Supreme Court, previously the court of Thurgood and RBG. And as he intended, they did. Well, let me tell you something. When I am president of the United States, and when Congress passes a law to restore those freedoms, I will sign it into law. We are not playing around.
How many times a month do you get a silk press?
So, you know, I don't use a curling iron. It's too much heat. I use a round brush.
Now, what kind of magical round brush? I mean, your hair must be super fine, gotta be big.
Well, no, it's not. It takes a
this?
while. A boar bristle, or but it takes a lot of heat. But it's just too much heat to do that and do.
Girl, you have us shook on the internet. You're like, how she always gotta say you and Queen Latifah are going neck and neck with the silk press, honey. You're giving it to us. Okay, so it's a round brush, girls. We've got to get into that. Okay.
Juicy.
So now enter the silk press queen, Miss Kamala Harris, or Miss Vice President or Mrs. Vice President Kamala Hoff, if you will. And I tell y'all, TikTok has been exploding, social media has been exploding. Celebrities are literally going ham and literally down insane to DT in regards to that whole ordeal, saying that it's anticipated that Miss Vice President Kamala Harris is anticipated to be the leading candidate for the 2024 presidential election, as early as August 1st.
Let's head south of the border next, where U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris has earned enough support from Democratic delegates to secure the party's nomination at next month's party convention. In a big development today, Democratic congressional leaders Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries endorsed Harris, something political watchers had said was vital. Manisa Donabalan joins us live with more on this. Hey, Manisa.
Hey, Matt. Schumer said the leaders waited to endorse her until she secured the support of enough Democratic delegates to become her party's nominee against Republican Donald Trump. Schumer said that he spoke to Harris on Sunday, and she wanted to win the nomination on her own. Jeffries added that Harris is ready, willing, and able to lead them into the future. This comes as Harris has received more than $100 million in donations. Her team calls it the best 24 hours of grassroots fundraising in presidential campaign history. It marks a significant turn from when support for the party was dwindling after Biden's poor debate performance. Today in Milwaukee, Harris spoke about Biden's work all these years, abortion, and Donald Trump. She also spoke about her past as Attorney General and a courtroom prosecutor.
In those roles, I took on perpetrators of all kinds. Predators who abused women, fraudsters who ripped off consumers, cheaters who broke the rules for their own gain. So hear me when I say, I know Donald Trump's type. And in this campaign, I promise you, I will proudly put my record against his any day of the week.
Harris must choose a running mate in only a few weeks as Democrats prepare for their convention next month. While the list of possibilities could expand or shift, Harris has zeroed in on 4 potential candidates, 3 of them governors and 1 senator, as she races to make a decision.
The latest by August 7th, and I know they choose a little vice president and literally everything else. And she is literally running her campaign with fast donors coming by, approaching. Folks are losing their mind. A lot of back talk, a lot of cattiness coming by between the two of them. One talking about DEI hire, the other one talking about convictions. One being the certified gangster, and the other one talking about the DEI hire when it comes to the silk press queen herself. Looking for the hair model moment, which many of the enlightened voters are going to look to actually try to be in contention for a hair model auditioning and try and be in the rally of Mrs. Vice President. When I tell y'all, this whole thing is literally getting juicier and juicier by the minute. It is going to be pure insanity. Everybody's really coming for blows when it comes with certain deals. Republicans got their little confidence coming mindset whenever they actually speak out. Democrats got theirs. But except now it's starting to get more and more extreme, down to the T, literally down to the minute. And I am literally enjoying every single moment of it. You're seeing around this time, you're literally seeing a bunch of people claiming that they're experts, when it comes to politics, whenever it comes to whoever they're voting for, right? So you got that factor that literally up in there as well, whenever you see people literally trying to come in the game and come with their own opinions, which is why I really don't like politics for the most part. I like to actually play a neutral eye. And what I'm seeing is both of these candidates here are using up a lot of dark psychological twists to actually try to woo the voters and literally try to sway the voters into literally voting for them. And if you look into my past video when it comes to this, it tells you a lot of the manipulation tactics, even a lot of the sign tactics that Kevin Samuels actually mainly would like to do, just to actually try to come in and literally sway your votes. But the best way to counter something like this when it comes to these types of elections is look for policy, and policy that benefits you specifically, depending on what your needs are and depending on what your priorities are, and treat your vote as if it's like a business transaction. That's the best way. That's the only way, actually, to literally counter all the dark psychological twists that you mainly do. I think it's best you keep your vote to yourself. You don't want to actually try to spew it all out to the general public, because you already know how folks, folks can be passionate and how folks will literally be losing their mind with who they vote for when it comes to the current election, and how all these crazy beasts mainly get started, over some stuff like this, over something as heated as this year's national presidential election coming up, which is real insane. I'm gonna enjoy every last bit of this reality TV, because what I'm seeing right now is literally hardcore reality TV between the certified conflict gangster Donald Trump and the anticipatory silk press queen herself, Mrs. Vice President Kamala or Kamala Harris, whoever they want to be. I'm just gonna sit back, relax, be on my couch, watch some good TV, and literally enjoy the show. Juicy. Man, y'all enjoy the view right here. Y'all enjoy the view. Oh my goodness. Oh, wonderful.